Understanding the neuroscience of addiction and brain plasticity involves exploring the neural mechanisms underlying addiction, the effects of drugs on the brain, and the adaptive changes that occur in the brain's structure and function in response to addictive substances. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you delve into this complex and important field. Learn the basics of neuroscience. Start by gaining a foundational understanding of neuroscience, the scientific study of the nervous system, including the brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. Learn about the structure and function of neurons, neurotransmitters, synaptic transmission, and neural circuits involved in various brain functions. Explore the neurobiology of addiction. Dive into the neurobiology of addiction, which involves understanding how drugs of abuse affect the brain's reward system and contribute to addictive behavior. Learn about the mesolimbic dopamine pathway, which plays a key role in reward processing and reinforcement learning, as well as other brain regions and neurotransmitter systems implicated in addiction, such as the prefrontal cortex, amygdala, and glutamate pathways. Study the effects of drugs on the brain. Investigate how different classes of drugs, such as opioids, stimulants, depressants, and cannabinoids, affect brain chemistry and function. Learn about the mechanisms of action of drugs of abuse, including their interactions with neurotransmitter systems, receptors, and signaling pathways, and how these effects contribute to addiction and dependence. Understand behavioral and cognitive aspects of addiction. Explore the behavioral and cognitive aspects of addiction, including the psychological factors that contribute to drug-seeking behavior, cravings, and relapse. Learn about conditioning processes, incentive salience, drug tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and the role of stress, cue reactivity, and environmental triggers in addiction vulnerability. Explore brain plasticity and adaptation. Investigate the concept of brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize its structure and function in response to experience and environmental influences. Learn about synaptic plasticity, neural circuitry changes, and neuroadaptive processes that occur in the brain during addiction and withdrawal, as well as the potential implications for treatment and recovery. Study genetics and epigenetics of addiction. Learn about the genetic and epigenetic factors that influence susceptibility to addiction and individual differences in drug response and treatment outcomes. Explore genetic polymorphisms, gene-environment interactions, and epigenetic modifications that contribute to addiction risk and resilience, as well as potential targets for personalized treatment approaches. Investigate neuroimaging techniques. Gain familiarity with neuroimaging techniques used to study addiction and brain plasticity in humans. Learn about functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, positron emission tomography, PET, and electroencephalography, EEG, methods used to investigate brain structure, function, and connectivity in individuals with substance use disorders. Stay informed about addiction research. Keep up to date with the latest research, developments, and discoveries in the field of addiction neuroscience and brain plasticity. Follow scientific journals, publications, and news outlets that cover addiction research, neurobiology, and psychiatry. Engage with addiction research communities, attend conferences, and participate in interdisciplinary collaborations to stay informed and contribute to the field. Explore treatment and intervention strategies. Investigate treatment and intervention strategies for addiction that target the neurobiological mechanisms underlying addictive behavior. Learn about pharmacological approaches, behavioral therapies, and neuromodulation techniques used to treat substance use disorders and promote recovery. Explore emerging treatments such as medications targeting craving and withdrawal symptoms, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, contingency management, and mindfulness-based interventions. Engage in addiction prevention and education. Get involved in addiction prevention and education efforts aimed at raising awareness, reducing stigma, and promoting healthy behaviors. Participate in community outreach programs, school-based initiatives, and public health campaigns that provide information and resources on substance use prevention, harm reduction, and treatment options. By following these steps and immersing yourself in the neuroscience of addiction and brain plasticity, you can gain a deeper understanding of the biological basis of addictive behavior and the neuroadaptive changes that occur in the brain during addiction. Your exploration and engagement may contribute to advancements in addiction research, treatment development, and public health efforts to address the complex challenges of substance use disorders.